Good afternoon and welcome to another Tuesday afternoon tea and chat with me, Basil, from Trowbridge Library. Nice to see you. I've got my cup of tea. I've just had a bit of a swig. I'll have a little bit more now. And then let's get going. So today I thought I'd do some wistful and wishful kind of poems. Hopefully you'll enjoy some of these. Some of my favourites, but also some new ones that I've just discovered. Now we're open. The library is open in Trowbridge and Salisbury and Chippenham. And as of today, Warminster and Devizes and Corsham are also open, which is really, really exciting. So we've been in the library and we found some new books. And so I went and had a look at the poetry shelves last week when I was in there at Trowbridge and found a few more books. A couple that I've got here with some collections in, which are really lovely. The first one is a really nice book, and it's a lovely sort of gift book, which you might like to have a look at. It's called The Poetry Pharmacy by William Seahart. Tried and true prescriptions for the heart, mind and soul. And I've actually chosen two poems out of this lot because they're lovely, but also I was really interested to see what William Seahart, how he just talked about reading poetry, which I think is an interesting thing just to start off with before we even do any poetry at all. So what he says in his introduction, he says, people are always telling me that they worry about their ability to read a poem. They don't really know how to do it. It's almost as though when they're faced with a poem, they're instantly intimidated, even though, of course, they can read and write like the best of us. So when I'm asked for tips, I always give the same advice. Don't read a poem like you would a newspaper or a novel. Read it almost like a prayer. Say it aloud in your head, as if you're speaking it to someone else, somebody interested, someone who makes you want to perform it properly. Or, of course, read it truly out loud if you want to, and not if you're on the bus. Either way, it's the reading aloud that will allow you to properly hear it, and that will make you understand the rhythms and the cadences and the musicality of the words and phrases. And that's quite a sort of nice way of thinking about how to read poems, slowly as if you were reading them out aloud, or better still, read them out aloud. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do now for you. Okay, so you can listen, I can read, and hopefully everyone's quite happy. Okay, well, I was going to read a couple from this, from the Poetry Pharmacy anyway, by William Seahart, a collection of poems. The first one is, the condition is for the need for moral guidance, and the poem is If, by Rudyard Kipling, a favourite of lots of people, often a favourite on lists if you ask people their favourite poem of all time. Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances for the doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impersonators just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves to make them trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, Yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and, which is more, you'll be a man, my son. If you can do all those things, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. Obviously, it was written at a time when you would say, you'll be a man, my son. I think we can be a bit more general about that now. You can be a woman as well, my daughter. That will be fine. Wouldn't quite scan, but the meaning is definitely still there. Okay, I hope you like that one. You probably know that one anyway. I know it's a lot of people's favourites, and a lot of people do know that one. Okay. Say hello if you want to. I'm happy to say hello back to you if you're on now, live. If it's a recording later, obviously I can't, but I'll still say hello. Send us a message or pop and see us in Trowbridge Library, Mondays, Thursdays and Saturdays at the minute. Okay, right, another poem I looked at and when I was reading through this book, and it's one, the condition is to sort out the condition of longing for beauty, maybe suitable for glumness, depression, purposelessness, ugly surroundings, that kind of thing. So it's a beautiful poem. It's quite, it's one I think you can get a lot more meanings out the more you'd read it, okay, this one. It's from Endymion by John Keats, and it's the first line is, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Okay, so I'll read this one. It'll take some getting used to, and it's worth digging out yourself, I think, and maybe reading yourself if you like it as well. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases, it will never pass into nothingness, but still will keep a bower quiet for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams, and health and quiet breathing. Therefore on every morrow are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth, spite of despondence, of the inhuman dearth of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and o'er-darkened ways made for our searching. Yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pull from our dark spirits. Such the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon for simple sheep. And such are daffodils with the green world they live in, and clear rills that for themselves a cooling covert make against the hot season. The mid-forest brake, wrinkling with a sprinkling of fair musk rose blooms. And such, too, is the grandeur of the dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead. All the lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink, pouring unto us from heaven's brink. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Part of Endymion by John Keats. I hope you like that. Hi to Sean, nice to see you. Doing your invoices while listening to poetry. Sounds very civilised. Okay, there we go. That's a couple of books, poems from the book by William Sieghart, The Poetry Pharmacy, Tried and True Prescriptions for the Heart, Mind and Soul. Want to dig out when you're in your local library? I'll take it back next time in, so you'll be able to see it in Trowbridge as well. All right. He came a couple of years ago to Salisbury Library and did a fantastic sort of live poetry pharmacy session with people there. It was wonderful. The other book I've got out is a little bit more fun, maybe, I think. It's glistening on the screen there. Can you see it? Poetry, please. Poetry, please. It's 100 popular poems from the BBC Radio 4 programme. Poetry, please. Okay. Hope you'll enjoy these ones as well. Some of my favourites. The first one is a great poem to read. Proper alliteration, wordplay, rhyming, all like you'd like in a poem. Okay. And it's by Hilaire Belloc, comic poet. It's mostly comic, a little bit of wistfulness as well in there as well. It's called Tarantella. Do you remember an inn, Miranda? Do you remember an inn? And the tedding and the spreading of the straw for a bedding, and the fleas that tease in the high Pyrenees, and the wine that tasted of the tar, and the cheers and the jeers of the young muleteers under the vine of the dark veranda. Do you remember an inn, Miranda? Do you remember an inn? And the cheers and the jeers of the young muleteers who haven't got a penny and who weren't paying any, and the hammer at the doors and the din, and the hip, hop, hap of the clap of the hands to the twirl and the swirl of the girl gone chancing, glancing, dancing, backing and advancing, snapping of a clapper to the spin, out and in, and the ting-tong-tang of the guitar. Do you remember an inn, Miranda? Do you remember an inn? Nevermore, Miranda, nevermore. Only the high peaks hoar, and Aragon a torrent at the door. No sound in the walls of the halls where falls the tread of the feet of the dead to the ground. No sound, but the boom of the far waterfall like doom. Do you remember an inn, Miranda? Tarantella by Hilaire Belloc. Lovely, lovely, remembering an inn in Spain, obviously, dancing a tarantella, kind of flamenco type dancing, like the snapping of a clapper to the spin, out and in. Maracas, that must be as well, must be. And the hands to the twirl and the swirl of the girl come chancing, glancing, dancing. Lovely. I hope you enjoy that one. Okay, as well. That's Do You Remember an Inn, Miranda Tarantella by Hilaire Belloc. Okay, I was going to say hello to Katie as well. Hi, Katie. Nice to see you. Okay, enjoying your cup of tea and your fudge. Very good. I haven't got a biscuit today. All right. Well, Katie would know this one as well because Katie also works in the library and she knows that I love bicycles, cycling, as does she. This one's called Going Downhill on a Bicycle. I just chose it for the title initially. Okay, it's a boy's song written by Henry Charles Beeching. Okay, a very different kind of poem called Wishful. That's where I could be always, pretty much. Going down the hill on a bicycle, I'll be happy there all the time. With lifted feet, hands still, I am poised and down the hill dart. With heedful mind, the air goes by in a wind. Swifter and yet more swift, till the heart with a mighty lift makes the lungs laugh, the throat cry, "Oh bird, see, see bird, I fly." Is this your joy, O bird? Then I, though a boy, for a golden moment share your feathery life in the air. Say, heart, is there aught like this in a world that is full of bliss? 'Tis more than skating, bound steel shod to the level ground. Speed slackens now. I float a while in my airy boat, till, when the wheels scarce crawl, my feet to the treadles fall. Alas, that the longest hill must end in a vale. But still, who climbs with toil wheresoe'er shall find wings waiting there. Okay, I like that. And in fact, whenever I'm struggling up a hill, whenever I'm toiling up a hill, I always think of the wings waiting there. I will always think of that from now on. I didn't know the poem before, but when I'm struggling, huffing and panting, I always do think, oh, I'm going to go to a downhill. Let's think more poetically. Who climbs with toil wheresoe'er shall find wings waiting there at the top. Have a think of that. Maybe you too, Sean, as well. Okay, I forgot you were a cyclist as well. Fab to know. Okay, there we go. Right, I'm going to do one more wistful poem. Okay, this is kind of more of a moral and a way to live, and it's again a very, very favourite poem of a lot of people. Written in blank verse, certainly in this version I've got here, it's a big block of text. Can you see that? It's a big block of text, not written out in lots and lots of lines, but it's called Desiderata by Max Ehrmann. Okay, little sort of moral for living maybe as well. I think it's lovely. Okay. Desiderata by Max Ehrmann. Go placidly amid the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexatious to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself, especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be. And whatever your labours and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy. Okay, I hope you like that. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy. What a way to finish. Okay, I'm going to have another little cup of tea, another swig of tea. Cheers. And then I'll say bye to you. Okay, I'll see you in a few weeks' time on this. I'm still doing Rhyme Time every Friday at 11 o'clock on Facebook as well. And you can always catch up with these later on the YouTube channel as well. Nice to see you. Okay, I hope you're all very well, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.